What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Heavy Nerd. Today we're going to take a look at the Neca, Loot Crate, Dark Donnie, and Scrag figures. Finally came in, so yeah, I'm pumped to have this guy, especially the Dark Donnie, especially in hand. I went all in with the 4 Loot Crates like an idiot 2 years ago, however long. I mean, thing feels like 20 years ago. But yeah, I started filming and I didn't realize it wasn't recording, and I was halfway through. I already had them out of the box, not halfway through. So I went back and shot images of the box out there for you right there. So yeah, you have that, and right out of the box, this guy's hella stiff, like really, really stiff. Where that left arm, I didn't even want to raise the shoulder up at all because I was worried that shoulder was just gonna break. But I didn't do any hot water or anything before shooting, which I should have known it's a Neca, but I didn't because that would take like planning and thinking, and I just do this on a whim for fun whenever I have time. So not too much pre-planning goes into these videos, guys. Come on, let's be real. Not with me, at least. I mean, a lot of guys have some great videos, but over here I kind of just like to fuck around and shoot the shit. So yeah, but yeah, hella stiff out of the box. But he looks great. I mean, I love the Doc Donnie concept. I love Batman. I love Ninja Turtles. I love the kind of mashup of the two IPs, and yeah, just always been a cool character, and cool that NECA redid him here in their style. He's great, and I'm wondering if all the turtles look like this with the front, if they all have that exact kind of torso articulation, because he doesn't have the front shell here, so it's a little different, but there you go. The standard back shell that's on the animated turtles with the utility belt going around. The cape is amazing. I mean, the cape is probably my favorite part of this whole figure. The cape is awesome, with wire running through the whole thing, all the way around it. And yeah, the cape just poses and works and looks beautiful, but we'll get to more of that later. Here we got a little articulation coverage. It's got a double knee. The knee actually bends really far back, like, so you got really good double knee there. The only thing is his diaper here. I really worry about that, like with the animated Toka and Raza, how the diaper there on Raza will like split if you push his legs up too far forward or too far backwards. So yeah, I'm kind of worried about that. That diaper is really kind of restricting on the backward and forward leg movement. So, but it's got a nice double knee, single joint at the elbow. So the elbow you get about 90, and again, everything on this figure is hella stiff. So don't go exactly by how far you see this movement. And I'm not a big on articulation guy, but with like trying to get all the kinks out of the shoulder, I got my shoulder up to about there, the one shoulder that wouldn't move, that is. And here's a second attempt trying to get that left arm to move with the just old-fashioned wiggle up and down, no give, not moving. So move on. I'll do some hot water later. Again, you get the torso, the waist crunch right there, a little back and forth, which is very different for a turtles figure because most of the time they have the front shell, so it's cool to kind of see what a turtle would look like without that front shell. And I wonder if all the figures actually do look like that underneath, if they have that same ab crunch and stuff and we just can't use it. Now the feet, they go back really far. They got a nice articulation there and pivot there, so that's good, but they don't go forward very much at all. So I did have a lot of trouble sometimes getting this guy to stand up because you would have to lean him forward a little more because the shell is so heavy and he's got so much weight in the back. and he doesn't lead forward that much due to the feet not articulating forward much. But yeah, here's a close-up punch-in on some of the paint and what he's got going on. The little symbol on his cape there, very nice paint apps. The paint apps are done pretty well all over this whole thing. I mean, when you zoom in this close, you can see where it's a little wonky, like around the boots, a little misses here and there, and the big gap in the mouth. And here, little misses on the back. But again, like, this is really punched in, zoomed in. From a normal distance, you don't notice it. You like see the little thicker line on the utility belt there. Again, a little wonkiness around the boots, the black line, a little shaky, but you know, again, at even a foot, 2 feet distance, you don't even notice it. Like, you really gotta, that's like magnifying close when you zoom in that close with the camera. So I just like to show all the paint work, see how straight the lines are. I don't know. I like to zoom in with the camera and get those details. I don't know why I don't really add them in a lot of videos, but I do that a lot just for myself. But yeah, so here we go. Doc Donnie, very cool figure. I forgot, I started posing him, did a couple shots, and then I stopped myself to explain this, like, with the posing. So you get the waist crunch and the waist swivel there, but the belt is glued in right there in the front where that one turtle is, and it's glued in the back right there. On the sides, it can wiggle up and down. So basically, you can't turn his waist at all. So you can't get him to turn like he's throwing his batarang or looking sideways or throwing a punch. No waist articulation at all, even without the front shell, really, because the utility belt is glued in the front and the back, and if you swivel it too much, you're going to rip that glue up, and the belt is probably going to fall off. So, I mean, you can glue it right back on, or maybe be better without the glue, and then you can kind of maneuver the figure more. I don't know, but that's not for me. I'm gonna leave the glue on mine. So yeah, do whatever you think is best. But I thought that was worth pointing out, because I noticed that when I was articulating them to try to get some poses. So it's kind of hard to get any dynamic poses with this guy. But there you have it. There's accessories up close. He comes with the turtle batarang again. He's got the 3 on his belt, and then the 1 that you can actually take off and hold in his hand. Then he comes with the waving high five, flat out hand, whatever you want to call it, and then the point and finger hand. And since turtles only have 3 fingers, that's kind of a middle finger hand if you think about it too. So that's kind of fun that you can have him give him the middle finger, because that's technically his middle finger. So I kind of dug that. That was pretty cool. And yeah, here's the Doc Donnie figure. Pretty dope. I'm definitely excited to finally get it from Neca. And we're going to take a look at the Scrag next here. So stay tuned if you want. Alright, and here we have Scrag. Take a look at the box here. He's got his Mallet in his human form, Mallet in his cat form, and whatever, sledgehammer. I don't know why I'm calling it a Mallet, like this is Acme Looney Tunes or something here, but forget about that. This is Mallet. Fucking Mallet again, I said. Fucking sledgehammer, you know what I mean? And I use a sledgehammer all the time. I did construction for years. Alright, and he's got his pistol there, very nice paint apps, his cat head, and his cat hands. And that's it for accessories. 2 weapons, an alternate head, alternate hand slash forearm. So you get the whole forearm, so you can make him look like a cat. You get the whole cat effect, because obviously his human forearms are exposed. So But yeah, I was really impressed with this figure. This figure was pretty damn cool, man. I really like this figure. And comes with more accessories than the Doc Donnie, which is, I mean, that thing, that's not hard to do. That thing came with nothing. So after doing that one first, this thing actually kind of felt impressive, and I really like the sledgehammer and the gun. But look at how clean and crisp the paint on this one is too. Like, look at the sun streaks and the sunglasses, the little lines in the cat ears, everything. Like, the paint looks much crisper on this one, much better. The little logo on his jacket. The cat hand's a little wonky, the paint apps you can see around the glove there. But I mean, again, this is really punched in when you could see any shakiness in the lines, but for the most part, this thing looks really good, really crisp. The gloves, I would say, have the most shakiness, but and that's those you can kind of see at a glance sometimes. But look at this, straight out of the box. This one I did loosen up a little bit and was fidgeting with at first to try to loosen them up before I started shooting, so I didn't have the same issues as the Dark Donnie. And then I noticed this, so I started filming right away. I don't know if I got two left ankles or two left thighs or two right thighs, or something is swapped there, or if it's just so bent out of shape, the peg that's holding it. But I mean, I really like the texture of this shirt, the texture of the coat, the way the rubber, like the soft gummy rubber. I don't even want to say gummy because I don't know, just this really nice soft rubber feeling texture to it. And the coat and the shirt are really nice the way they feel. Not much paint going on in the back besides a couple cartoon lines in the jacket and in the hair, but it still looks really nice, really clean. All the cell shading, but that knee really, oh man, the QC on these sometimes is killer, especially on a figure like this, because this is tough to replace, especially you waited all this time for it. The articulation on this is really good. The arm goes up really high. It does have a double elbow. At first I was like, oh man, it doesn't have a double elbow, but the way they did it is really weird. So you get one articulation point right there, and then another one right there at this weird cut in the jacket. So you see it right there. There's two cuts in the jacket, two separate articulation points, so you don't really get quite as much range as a typical, and it looks like that. It doesn't look too bad overall, but it looks a little wonky because an elbow doesn't bend like that, an arm doesn't bend like that, so to the mind it does look a little weird, but it doesn't look too bad. And a regular double elbow bends more, so I don't get why they went with that, but whatever. It don't look bad. It's kind of cool, kind of innovative, I guess, but this is what you get on the head. You get a decent amount up and down, not too much back, but a decent amount down, and obviously it spins all the way around, and the coat, the collar and the coat will just move right out of the way. Doesn't hinder it at all because that soft, really nice rubber, plastic, whatever they use, it feels like rubbery, but it's really good. And again, hella stiff. These NECA figures are always so stiff. It's a killer. The the QC is just kind of the killer on these, but you get them for not really even the articulation, for the paint apps, the look, and like all the accessories and how they do these deep cut accessories, deep cut characters, and they just look on point. They look great on a shelf, even if you can't even move the arm, or one of the arms fell off and you had to super glue it back on, whatever, they still look great. I don't know, and they're starting to go up in price, so it's kind of shitty to just say that and kind of accept that, but it is what it is. We've already accepted it. We've been buying them for years. But now the price is going up, I think the QC should get better, that being said. But what do I know? Uh, yeah, so that one leg, the normal leg wouldn't even bend for me to show you guys the articulation. So I had to go to the wonky leg to show you the double knee. But we all know what a double knee does. It can get you to almost kick your own ass. And the double knee works pretty good on here. Works like a double knee. The arms, this one had way better articulation than Doc Donnie. Way smoother joints. Everything just felt smoother, felt better. So, yeah. Here's Scrag, human form Scrag. I'm digging this figure. Not a big character, a deep character, but a lot of the figures in this line are deep cut characters that only appeared in one episode or something, like Animated Tokan Raza, one episode. Scrag, one episode. Um, Anthrax and Scumbug, I believe, one episode. But here we have the cat here. Yeah, the cat here, the cat head. He's got the chipped ear there, which I'm just noticing. The little cut in one of his ears. 2 or 3 earrings. When I move that other hand, we'll get an earring count here. 2 earrings, 1 in each ear, because he's a cool cat. From the back, you can kind of see that big gap, but how often are you going to have them from the back? Here are the cat hands up close. Again, you can see a couple black dots on the white, maybe a little shakiness on a couple of the lines, but overall, they look good. They look like cat hands, gray cat hands with white gloves, white Mickey Mouse gloves. C grip, standard C grip. They're both the same C grip. Neither of them are made for the weapons, which make no sense to me. Why didn't they give them the same as the human hands? But here's the revolver. I love the revolver. The revolver looks really good. They even kind of drilled out the hole in the front there in the barrel, and they didn't just leave it flat, so it looks super fake. A lot of the little miniguns do that, and I hate when they do that. Just drill out that tiny bit. You can see a little plastic still left on mine. Again, this is super zoomed in. This thing looks great. Like, besides that little bit of plastic and whatever. And here's his mallet. No paint on this thing at all, except for that one black line around the, unless maybe that top thing might be molded in the same, the steel part might be molded in the same color plastic. I'm not sure, but I think the black line is the only paint apps on that, if I'm not mistaken. So here's everything with human Scrag. He gets the weapon holding hand, so the cat doesn't get to really hold the weapons, but human Scrag, I was surprised at how much I liked this figure. Like, I thought I was going to love Doc Donnie way better. I keep wanting to call him Donnie Taco. But I thought I was going to love Doc Donnie way better. But I really... It was almost neck and neck for me. The Doc Donnie, I admit, it looks way cooler. And the cape gives him such, like, a much cooler factor. But, yeah. I did enjoy this figure. I enjoyed messing around with him. He was fun. And here you just pop the human hand off here to show you real quick how to swap out the hands. And I remember recording this, so I'm gonna attempt to show you, but what I'm really gonna show you is how hard it was to get this cat hand on. So you're gonna want to warm that up too. Heat it up with some type of heat source, a little blow dryer action to make the rubber easier to expand and the plastic easier to expand, so it'll just slip right on there. Or hot water. But yeah, just straight out the box, it was really hard to slip on there. And then that piece of the cuff right there, the piece of his sleeve, that will slide off the peg, so you're trying to hold that down while you're trying to pop the hand on. It becomes a pain in the ass. So yeah, again, the weapons don't fit in his hands. There's no other accessories, nothing to show you special with the cat Scrag. So here's a few pictures. Here's cat Scrag. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this video, finally getting to mess with these figures, finally getting them in hand, getting to see them. So thank you, till next time.